Bill Erstis,
Present.
John Dooley,
Here.
Gary Bailey, Deborah Potter,
Here.
Kevin Whipple.
Here. Approval of the agenda, there's a slight change. Paul Schaefer is being replaced by John Feister, Mr. Feister. So in both old and new business, it would be John Feister. Any additions or corrections or?
I'll move we accept the agenda as published.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Anybody want to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We got a motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. John, financial report, please.
The financial report for the Greensburg Municipal Airport. We have the three separate accounts. Currently in our airport improvement account, the balance $77,909.56. In our aviation rotary fuel account, $110,958.56. In our airport operations account, $427,369.68. Total of all three accounts combined, $616,839.80.
Okay. Mr. Feaster, update on construction.
Hey, good evening, everyone. In the agenda that Paul sent out, there were minutes from the past two progress meetings of the paving and lighting portion of the runway project. Quick synopsis, we are in the cement stabilization phase right now, so that is adding cement and mixing it into the dirt that sits below the stone, which will sit below the asphalt. So not quite 50% of the way done with that as of right now, but should be nearing the end of that by next week, and then it has to cure for a week before they can get back on it and start doing the grading for the shoulders and start putting the stone down. So in a week's time, week and a half's time, we should start seeing the stone start to go in on the runway. Paul left me with a handful of motions to go over tonight, so let's get to it. The first one is a motion to approve AIP 20. This is FAA partial pay request number 11 in the amount of $26,095.56. This is your 100% federally funded supplemental grant for the runway 119 paving and lighting phase.
There's no discussion. I'll move we approve the AIP 20 partial pay request number 11 in the amount listed.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
Okay, next action item is motion to approve AIP 21, FAA partial pay request number 3 in the amount of $15,343.02. Federal share is $13,808. State and local shares are $767.15. Again, this is for your runway 119 paving and lighting phase.
Make a motion to approve AIP 21 FAA partial pay request number 3 in the amount listed.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I did forget to mention in the construction update that they are on schedule, so there's no updates to the construction schedule that we reported on last month. Action item number 3 is a motion to approve contractor's progress estimate number 4 for Dave O'Mara Contractors in the amount of $26,238.06. That's for your runway 119 paving and lighting contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the contractor's progress estimate number 4 for Dave O'Mara Contractors in the amount $26,238.06.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, regarding the grading and drainage portion of the project, you may recall last month I reported that HIS was working on their punch list items, but they were not complete yet because of the wet weather. I can report that they are now complete with those punch list items, and we do believe that they are off the site for the final time. So I think that's a good milestone that we've finally reached there. We are ready to move forward with their retained release and a grant closeout with a grant amendment. So the next two action items are, well, the next, gosh, they're all related. We'll start with action item number 4. That's a motion to approve contractor's progress estimate number 16. That's the final retained release for HIS constructors in the amount of $122,000. That is in conjunction with the grade and drain phase. Now, I want to explain on this one that the status of the grant amendment that would cover the retained release, the update we got from Victor, who's your FAA program manager, he indicated that the amendment has gone through the FAA regional review and has come back down to him for approval, which essentially means it's approved, it just now needs to be issued to you. In other words, it came back from region with no request for changes, so we believe it's approved there and Victor just needs to issue it. So what we're hearing from Victor is that it's pretty likely you'll have that amendment offer. The amendment will come to you guys before the next board meeting, so that's why we're doing the motion 5 and 4 now. So I just say that because motion 4 for the retained release is related to the amendment, which we are anticipating before the next board meeting. So that's all I have on to discuss on item number 4, if you guys want to consider that motion to approve.
I'll do that. I'll move we approve the final retained release, that contractor's progress estimate number 16 in $122,000 as listed there.
I will second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Okay, motion number 5 is to allow Bill and Don Tribbett to execute electronically the FAA grant amendment number 1 for AIP 16 in the amount of $259,523.69. The federal share will be $233,571.32. The local share will be $25,952.37. Just to remind you, there is no state portion on an amendment, so the local share covers the state share.
I'll make a motion to allow Bill Ernstis and Don Tribbett to execute electronically FAA grant amendment number 1 for AIP 16 in the amount of $259,523.69.
So just to clarify that our local share is 10% rather than 5 then, since we pick up, since there's no state. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. I'll move we allow them to make that transaction also.
Is there a second?
That was my second.
Oh, second.
She first did. I was just asking questions.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, the last two motions are also preemptive. Action item number 6 is a motion to approve AIP 16 FAA final pay request number 19 in the amount of $414,369.54. Federal share $388,417. Local share $25,952.37. This is essentially immediately doing a pay request for the amendment once you get it. So there's no paperwork now, but we're doing it preemptively, so if you get that grant amendment between next board meetings, you can go ahead and do your draw on.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve AIP 16 FAA final pay request number 19 in the amount of $414,369.54.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Approved.
Okay, last action item is actually for next year's work, or next year's grant, I should say. There was an OST announcement for your fiscal year '23 grant for land reimbursement. That, I guess means the money's programmed, but we don't actually have a grant offer yet. But when an OST makes the announcement, that means it's coming pretty much any time. So, action item 7 is also a preemptive motion to allow Bill and Don Tribbett to execute electronically FAA fiscal year 2023 grant for land reimbursement in the amount of $2,292,066.67. The federal share is $2,062,860, and the state share $114,603. The local share $114,604.
I'll make a motion to allow Bill and Don to execute electronically FAA fiscal year 2023 grant for the land reimbursement in the amount of $2,292,066.67.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Great.
Okay, and my final item for tonight, and then I will go sit down, is there is an exhibit in the packet that I provided to you guys and Paul provided for options on future hangar and terminal layouts. It should be the last page in your packet. It's a folded 11 by 17 piece of paper. We kind of talked about a little bit about the placement of this stuff last month, and again, there's nothing final on here, but I just wanted to show what we're showing on the south half of the existing runway. Nearest the existing taxi lane is an opportunity for some box hangars to go in, and south of there is opportunity for some T-hanger units to be constructed. At the taxi lane, there is a consideration for an apron to park Category 2 aircraft, C2 aircraft, which would be larger business jets. There's a potential to put a box hangar and auto parking there, and then on the west side of the new runway, you can see the preliminary layout for a taxi lane and apron, box hangars, and potential terminal building over there.
Those are in blue, right? The potential hangars and terminal, that's what's in blue?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. These are all preliminary. We haven't actually made this change on the ALP. Previously, this was shown in the area in red, but you are probably aware that's where the county highway construction is going on. So Paul wanted you guys to look at this and look at the options. Our intent here is to incorporate these into an ALP update that we're already under contract to do once the runway is complete. So it makes sense to do it at that time. If there is a need for immediate construction, we can do the ALP update now, but the intent is to hold it and do it with the update for the runway once it's done.
We have requests for hangars already to be built, but one by Cova and Rollin, what's the guy's name from North Vernon?
Just call him Raleigh.
Or Raleigh,
God knows.
and Steve Wanstroth wants to build a row of T hangars. And things that we need to consider is how would we pay for it? Will we allow them to build them and lease the land for us for X number of years? I don't know, what do you suggest?
Land lease option is quite popular, where the airport sets the terms of the lease for a certain number of years, and then the tenant can construct the improvements, and then when the lease is up, the airport gets the improvements. That's a pretty popular way to structure it.
Typically, what kind of timeframe do they historically leased?
20 years or?
20, 30 years are the typical
Yeah.
timeframes.
What did we do with Param?
I don't know, I did the lease. That was just a straight up lease. We built it with our money,
Okay.
yeah.
They paid for half of it
They ended
on
up,
his demise.
right.
Okay.
I remember it cost $60,000 for that hangar, and they ended up paying 30 of it.
let's keep in mind for our next meeting, come out, I would say in October, we'll have people coming in here wanting to build hangars. So we need to be open-minded about how we're gonna do it. You guys would do the engineering for it, I assume. Now, it came up that there's extra dirt.
Yeah,
They're gonna put it off to the south end and to the north end, and I suggested to Dan Ricketts, the foreman, that they pile it on the west side of the present runway,
yeah.
and then we could use it to fill in. Is that feasible?
Yes, it is. I talked with John Clare about that yesterday, and I agreed that that was a good plan for that excess material.
We would have to pay the difference though.
Yes, I believe there would be a extra cost for Omera to put that material in that location.
Okay.
I do not know what it is at this time. I don't know what the quantity of extra material is. And I don't think they know either. They have an idea of what it is, but until they start grading those shoulders, we don't know what the exact excess is.
Apparently HIS put more dirt on the runway than they were supposed to.
Yeah, I've heard that it's a little high.
Yeah.
It's not substantially high, but when you put it over the whole area of 5,400 by 100, it adds up. Mhm.
Okay. So everybody keep in mind what we need to do, because I expect probably in October, Todd will be here, and maybe Raleigh and Swanstroff will be here asking questions. How many people we got waiting for hangars?
5 right now.
5. Okay. Thank you, young man.
Yep, think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry, your turn, and you already answered the question.
Well, the only new news I got to report is that our mower's still not here, but they're still saying the 10th of May instead of January. It should be here. So, with Bill's help today in Burning Greens, we got a new windsock put up. Bill was responsible for getting it done. Without his help, we couldn't have done it.
Yeah, you could.
But we've had an awful lot of fuel sales lately. There's been helicopters doing tree trimming and stuff in the area, and they've been coming in, getting, you know, like 800-900 gallons at a time, you know, with jet fuel. So
And those Hueys?
the Huey that comes in is a privately owned helicopter. They come in and get our fuel. It's based in Columbus, and there's like 85 people own it.
Oh, really?
It's a group thing, you know, and then the owners get to take rides in it whenever they're flying around.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they come in quite often too.
Now, do we have any military coming in for fuel?
I haven't seen military lately.
Because they'd be lucky to get paid.
Well, yeah, we learned our lesson on that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's all I got.
Okay. Public liability, I was hoping that maybe you'd be here, or general liability. Last year it was $6,291. This year it's $7,235. And she said we need to pass a motion to accept the fact that it's going up, and then a motion to accept it and pay the $7,235.
And she didn't have it listed on the list of bills, but she did have the board liability listed, which is up a few $100.
Yeah.
You see there. You can see last time board liability was in March 2022.
Yeah.
And now it's, what, $200-300 more. You can see the general liabilities listed in May of 2022, so.
Yeah, there's two.
She did mention, if you read the email, she did mention that there's not a lot of insurance options available for this type of liability, and she recommended we bite the bullet and go with, even though it's increased, go with that increased amount.
I'll accept the motion.
I will reluctantly move
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, now the rest of the bills.
I have a question in regards to the Indiana Department of Revenue. April and May, there isn't anything. And that's just a
Yeah,
concern.
May you could probably give that a pass since it's early in the month, but there should have been something listed for April, and nothing listed
Well,
yet. so-
April was $152.91.
Yeah, she just didn't have it listed in
Just
our
didn't
bill,
get it
in
all.
our bill packet, that's all.
Gotcha.
I accept the motion to pay the bills.
If there's no other discussion, I'll make a motion, we pay the bills as listed.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay. Any comments from the board or the audience? I would like to say that I'm extremely pleased with O'Mara's operation. They are a first-class operation compared to what our previous one was. They took me down and showed me, and it is impressive. It's really impressive. That pig out there holds 6 semi-loads, and they're blowing in and taking out, and it's impressive. Okay, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I will move we adjourn till, what is it, June 1st?
June 1st.
To June 1st.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.